Welcome to day 10 of the Seeker's Guide to Soul Contact. This class is closely linked to day 9. So if you haven't gone through day 9, make sure you go through that first. The theme today is I will change my mind today. Now that you have done your best to identify both types of grievances, you must take steps to neutralize them. To do this, the seeker must start with the mind. This applies to both types. Now, the reason we start with the mind, with type 2, the emotionally based grievances, as well as type 1, that is the mind, is that the mind may hold a subtle but unrecognized grievance. You may think you have forgiven your father for what he did to you, but maybe there still lingers a residual grievance in both your mind and your emotions. Maybe you have not justified forgiveness in your mind. Therefore, the first step for any grievance to dissolve it is to make sure the mind is not harboring any condemning thoughts toward others. Reprogramming the mind requires a logical argument and a new direction. One has to examine how it is thinking now and talk it into changing. Let us take the accident with Jim and Bob from yesterday. And Jim's mind there enhances the grievance because it's thinking something like this. Bob was driving carelessly. If he had been paying attention, the accident would not have happened. Bob knew better than to take that corner so fast. The injuries I suffer are totally Bob's fault, and he should suffer and pay. As it is, he only had a few scratches and is not suffering at all. Notice the general trend of thinking, which is basically this. The guy who seemed to cause a grievance is not suffering enough and needs to suffer more. This type of thinking is often associated with a grievance. Now, fortunately for you, your mind is programmed by your conscious self. You merely have to make a definite decision about the direction of the programming. Suppose you are Jim and want to release your friend from condemnation. What do you send to your mind to change the program? First, Jim would start with the obvious. Bob has apologized and feels bad about the accident. He didn't mean for it to happen. Jim then thinks of times that he was careless, but was lucky enough to not have an accident that injured anyone. There were a number of times it could have happened, and then someone would have a grievance toward him. Jim could have been in Bob's shoes numerous times in his life as he contemplates. This type of reasoning is helpful, but it often is not enough. So Jim must go further. He must explain to his mind that holding a grievance toward Bob not only hurts Bob, but hurts himself. Nothing good is accomplished by the grievance. Not only does the grievance cause emotional hurt to Jim, but it's physically dangerous to Bob. Why? Because the grievance causes blockages of the vital life energy, which can lead to all types of physical problems and disease. It's not worth holding for this reason alone. But most important for this course is that a grievance places dark clouds between the seeker and the light of his own soul. The heavens will seem to be tightly closed to one who holds a grievance. The seeker has a lot of logical ammunition to convince the mind to let the grievance go. There's no benefit in keeping the grievance and many benefits to letting go. When this is realized, no mind can make a case for keeping a grievance. The assignment today is to examine any grievance that still may have an effect on you and reason with the mind about it, similar to what we've done here. Then end with this affirmation: there is no logical reason to keep the grievance. I have everything to gain and nothing to lose by letting it go. I now release it to be gone forever. It is as if it never was. For successful reprogramming, you may need to apply this exercise a number of times. Thank you for watching this, and be sure and check out our website at freeread.com, Freeread, and we have thousands of free articles there.